Okay.
I'm Clayton.
You know, I can't help but feel that you're like
into teenagers.
That's Latin. That's Latin. You could kind of see how you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just use. Okay.
Go
All right.
loud, go loud, go fiery.
You know what?
Improv's directed.
You know what? It sounded like you don't pay any attention to me, okay? And it's starting to hurt my feelings. And I don't thinking that you are ready for marriage.
Who are you and why are you yelling at me?
I think I need to start an investigation on who's not here for the right reasons. Can I get out of this conversation right now, please?
Hey, thanks for that tip. I gotta hit the press.
I gotta start investigating.
Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Bachelor podcast. My name is Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
That producer of the podcast is over there behind my glasses.
How's everybody doing?
I'm not doing that great, actually. I'm pretty pissed off at our fans on this feed.
You should be.
Yeah. Do you want to get into it? You're better at yelling.
You're kind of
at them.
screwing us over.
Yeah.
Because this, all our advertisers that are, we're fortunate enough to have people. You know how we talk on this show. You're fans of us, obviously. Right. You like what we're putting down there. Well, then you got to support us with our advertisers. So if our advertisers are going to go, look, I heard you guys say some pretty fucked up stuff.
Right.
We could get in trouble as a company for paying you guys to, hawk our product.
Yeah.
The least you can do as an audience that it once again
shave
loves
your
what we're
pubes
throwing
with
down.
Manscaped. Chug a little Magic Mind.
What, Dylan? Can you give the companies that they can help us out by buying?
We'll talk about them later, but MagicMind.co, most paramount, enter promo code Clayton for 25% off. But guys, the most important thing is, and I know that you may be sitting in your car thinking, why are these fucking pieces of shit hawking stuff at the top of their show and getting pissed off at me for not supporting them monetarily? But if you are the person, and many of you are not this person, but if you are the person who listens to this show for free
for years,
has not left an iTunes review, has not joined us on Patreon for Love is Blind Season 2, the pods are open. And premiere episode dropping today at patreon.com/another podcast network. And you haven't purchased any of our advertisers' products, then what the fuck are you doing? Help us somehow. Please contribute to this, what is currently a one-way street.
Dylan, they have 3 options as a listener right now.
Yeah, I just laid them out.
Okay. You can stop listening now.
Oh.
Because I don't want you here anymore.
Yeah.
You're not helping us out. You're not helping us grow. You're not lining our pockets. So if you are not if you're unable to do or unwilling to do the next 2 options, which is you can either go over and pay us $5 to listen to Love is Blind Season 2.
Right.
Or you can buy something from one of our advertisers, whether it be Helix Mattress, Green Chef, Magic Mind, or Manscaped. If you won't do those other 2 options, you have to do the first, which is you're going to turn this podcast off right now.
And all of those things, except turning off this podcast, will help you fuck your spouse more.
Literally all
True
of
story.
them. All of them. All right, so we got to get into the show, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, that's a somber transition into a somber fan favorite segment known as General Thoughts. Nick, do you have good things to say about this episode? Because I don't want to just throw it to Grumpus over there.
Maybe we should, so then we can bring it back up.
All right, Grumpy Grumpus. How'd you feel about the episode?
Me?
Yeah.
I thought it was decent.
I don't see any other Grumpy Grumpuses in here.
I mean, it was all right. It was fine.
Yeah, you're the
it's
only
not Love
Grumpus.
Is Blind.
One of
some of our best work. We just finished recording episode 1 of that.
I had such a fun time talking about it with you guys.
Me too. And you guys are going to be in your car or at work with your headphones on or something like that.
Yeah.
You'd be crying.
You're going to be in stitches.
These are the people, too, that definitely listen to Love is Blind. They're like, oh, Bachelor's watching. The Bachelor's not giving me what I want in my dating show to find eternal love. Well, Love is Blind is. Watch it on Netflix. You all have it, even though they bumped up the price 50 cents to $15.49. It's getting fucking out of control.
Right.
But Love is Blind, our recaps, patreon.com/another podcast network.
Yeah, Love is Blind is like Bachelor in Paradise. It has in it Temptation Island, Bachelor in Paradise, and that one segment from The Price is Right where you have to pick a door and you don't know what's behind it.
Right.
And that movie with like Ryan Reynolds that he's in like a box or something the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of that.
Mm-hmm. Buried.
The pods. Yeah, buried.
Something. How many P's do you give it?
Oh, I didn't really even get into my things. You interrupted his. Did you wrap yours up?
No, we never even kicked to him, Grumpus. We were going with you, and then we're going to lift the spirits.
Right. Okay. I think we're on episode 6 or something.
Yeah.
So what's that mean, like 4
Week
left?
6. Yeah, 4 left.
Oh, then fuck it. It's great. It's almost over.
And?
Oh, 0.
0 P's?
0. And this thing might be behind a paywall next time.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Oh my!
Thoughts?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Thoughts and Knots is this. I thought this one should have been.
I know, totally.
But Thoughts and Knots is kind of our version of Whose Line Is It Anyways?
Right.
The points don't matter and everything's made up.
Yeah.
But
0.
That being said, for episode 6, I love this episode. They've kept around the good mix of people.
Sure.
The good mix of people we still have remaining means like there's going to be a very small lull, if any, before hometowns. I'm kind of digging this season.
Okay.
86 Knots.
Now, when you said let's kick it back to us to lift the spirits a little bit, I didn't want to spoil it, but I was not going to partake in that effort. I thought this was a bad episode.
Should we pretend it didn't go?
No. Let's not do that. But we'll have a little optimism sandwich here. But for me personally,
impressive,
being the top bread of Grumpus, the top slice of Grumpus, I got way too much Gabagool tonight. Way too much Gabagool. I don't like her. I don't want her taking up 20 to 30 minutes of the episode. Also, way too much, like, adoration for Clayton. Rachel and Clayton make me want to throw up. So, not a great episode. I would give it, like, 6 petals.
6 petals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
It took me...
Can't stand her.
It took me till you actually anthropomorphized Gabagool for me to realize you were talking about Jersey. But
Gabagool.
It shouldn't have took me that long. She is the most New Jersey person that has ever been alive.
She's the most Gabagool human being we've ever had on this show. She is rigatoni incarnate. So, last we left off, we had a pretty ominous date card. Into the falls our journey goes. Only one will come out with a rose. Pretty clunkily worded. Come on, Mickey.
Well, he didn't have you do it, and Mickey didn't do it. Mickey hired, apparently, Gabby to do it.
Right.
It starts off the show like, apparently she's going to guide us through what happened, what's going to happen. It's pretty annoying. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to call Disney. I got the transcript of how that deal went down.
Oh, okay.
Wait, are you calling Disney or is this a transcript?
No, he's calling Disney.
Gabby, it's Mickey! You don't have a chance in hell, but I have a job for you. Deal was done.
So explain how that. So that was the tape of the call.
I just play it for you.
Okay, got it. How'd you acquire that?
I called Disney.
I love that.
Still doesn't make any sense. I called Disney. It doesn't make any sense.
It used to be Pat would have one of these type of situations that definitely happened, by the way. But he would kick it to Dylan for some improv to play the part of Mickey.
He stopped doing Mickey.
He stopped doing exactly how you pictured it. So Pat is now taking on both roles.
That's too
I called
much of a
Disney.
peek behind the kitchen.
I called Disney.
the curtain.
Get out of the kitchen. You can't see what's in here. All right. So we get some.
Get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Get the fuck out of here. So we get some pretty important chatter amongst the women. Heather's whose name is Hunter, I think.
It's definitely my computer died, so I can't play my soundbite. What an idiotic conversation we just heard, or whatever she says. That's my cue.
Well, she says something as I don't know, mind numbing. This week, she says one thing we do know is that we're gonna be seeing one of those suitcases gone tonight. Yeah. Yeah, we are. All right, so let's get to the falls. Genevieve starts off with a very long-winded toast. She toasts to 7 or 8 things in one glass race, and then we head off for a little one-on-one chat. Now, Niagara Falls do not have a monopoly on waterworks this afternoon. Oh, that's so stupid.
Great writing. Great writing, Dylan.
All right, Pat. We want to get to a clip here, right?
Wait. Just.
Oh
one second.
no, not yet.
Hold
not
on.
yet.
So let's break down the one-on-ones that Clayton.
Bad hosting.
That was fucking fire, though. You're okay. You earned yourself some time.
Little leeway, little
All right.
leash length.
Genevieve, the bartender. I'm kind of a fan of her for what she did here. She basically tells Clayton here, Meathead, she's bummed out about the 2-on-1 because she knows how that works, and she already knows he's been sucking face with Shanae. So she knew it was basically, she was getting her walking papers all week long waiting for this. And basically, I think she alludes to him being a dopey ass. But then she says she's going to attempt to be vulnerable and wants to know if he has any questions, and he doesn't.
Impressive.
Yeah, no, he just does this thing where the sun's like super in his face, so he just kind of squints his eyes, and then they hook up.
We've talked about not knowing really who Clayton is. One thing I do know about him, he's never questioned anything. But I agree with you. It was kind of smart what Genevieve did. It was this very perfect alchemy of victimhood and high road a little bit. She didn't really say shit about Shanae, and I think that is what kept her there. It's the art of war. Genevieve has read that.
Yeah, I don't think it's the art of war at all. I think Clayton said, I want to pick Shanae at the end of this date, and the producer said, Clayton, you can't do that. And that's when he began throwing sandwiches at craft services. And ultimately, Mickey had to step in, maybe threaten to break a leg or two, but he definitely wanted to keep Shanae.
And that's not war to you?
We're going to play a clip about when he threw an accusation at Geneva.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But when he walked off in those skinny jeans wrapped around his 225-pound meathead body to ponder what he'll eat later, some producer, because he wanted to get rid of Genevieve.
Yeah.
Someone said, we got to save you from yourself.
Right, yeah, 100%.
You're a fucking idiot.
Okay. So,
can I say what I noticed in this part with Genevieve and Clayton? We've seen many times where they're near the ocean, proposals, and the water just wreaks havoc because it does not care about your production schedule. It dominates the lavs.
Yeah.
I am going to don the TFC and say that I don't think they were anywhere near, and I mean, we're talking yards, not miles, anywhere near the falls. There was a perfect backdrop behind their conversation of the rushing water. If they were actually near it, we'd be hearing, but then falls.
Right.
Falls. That was
violent waterfalls.
We're mostly an audio show, so what I just did was worthless. But the fact is, I don't think they were near those falls.
No, I don't think they were.
I've been to Niagara Falls, and they definitely weren't.
It's like this giant hum. It's actually I've basically only lived next to freeways since I've lived in LA.
Yeah, you'll get cancer at 45.
You don't realize it until you get someplace where there is true silence, and you're like, this is incredible.
Yeah. No, you can't meditate in Los Angeles before or after 7:30 in the morning because there's just too much chaos going on outside. We all know that. We have all been trying to meditate every morning, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I went on a field trip in the 3rd grade, and we went down on the ground like a mile or something like that.
Yeah.
Pitch black. They turned the lights off, and there was not a sound. There's no sound down there.
Yeah.
We could hear our heartbeats.
Yeah. You go crazy.
It was incredible.
There's some room in like Michigan or something. It's like the quietest room in the world or something like that. I think if you're in there for longer than a very minuscule amount of time, comparatively speaking, I think it's like 15, 20 minutes, you'll start to go fucking crazy.
You start scratching your eyeballs out.
Yeah. You'll hear your organs working.
That's right.
Because you can't have a conversation in the last 3 weeks without mentioning Joe Rogan. Yeah. I, for a long time, have wanted to spend some time in a sensory deprivation
chamber.
Yeah. Salt water, perfectly. What do you call that? Like, it's the same as your body temperature, perfectly calibrated to your body temperature. So you literally feel like you're floating in space. You can't hear or feel anything.
Yeah, shoot me up with a little Special K and stick me in one of those things. I'll have a good time. So we got to move on to...
I'm going to do that for APS.
Shanae, who is snooping around and slothing around and saying crazy shit. And then she gets her chance to sit down with Clayton. Now, she continues with more gas. She tells Clayton that Genevieve wanted to leave last night. Have zero fucking clue if that's true or not. Leaning towards absolutely not true because she's the Joker. And then she hits her very, very soft target with something that really, really rattles him. She says that Genevieve gives her actress vibes. And you can see him like, oh what? Mm-hmm. Wait, you mean to tell me that she's an actress? But she tells Clayton of red flags and then cries about how no one has wanted her for 5 years. And the irony is not lost on her, or should I say it's super, super lost on her. She then begins cheering for herself. She's proud that she did such a good job fake crying.
#tears.
But hey, we've got a rose to give out.
Now, Dylan, before we do, and we play this clip.
Yep.
I finally got what Shanae's doing. I truly believe that she's subverting this show. She thinks it's as absurd and dumb as we do.
Nope.
I do not think for 1 second she does not think that she's doing like a service to herself by mocking this show. She's not into Clayton.
Nope.
She's not here to win. Why would she be sitting in there in front of a camera bragging? Like, wouldn't it be great if she just said, yeah, I just came on the show because I thought it was dumb. I was making fun of it.
Nope.
You don't think so?
No.
I told you guys, I DM'd with her. She seems pretty sad, and she just got baptized. I think she's really regretting a lot of her actions on this show.
Well, she's mentally ill. If this is what you're doing.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. There's no meta comedy taking place here. This is a mentally ill person.
Mm-hmm. Because if I went on the show, I'd be doing what you said, like the meta comedy thing or something.
Yeah, but
but that's not happening here.
And you'd be doing it in a way that would make you like likable. She is.
Well, I'd have to explain a way that I have a wife and a child while I'm on the show.
That'd be tough, but.
Well, that's when I'd break up with the Bachelorette. I'd
Right.
say, I've been totally vibing on you, but I got something to admit to you.
Yeah.
I got a wife named Sheree and
Right.
a daughter named Ellie, and I need to go back to them, even though you and I were clicking.
I guess the meta part, would you be playing it completely sincere the entire time, despite the wife and child you have?
Well, no, after I beat one guy out, I'd be mocking at the camera. I'd be like, look at this fool over here.
It would be so funny if all the guys were gathered around the island for a little breakfast, and Cherie and Ellie just came in. You just said hi, to them, giving them a hug and a kiss.
What are they doing here?
Hey, why don't you shut up, mind your own business, huh? This is a game.
What an incredible little twist they can have next season, which they
one
will.
Has a full-blown family.
And then have the mom and the daughter or whatever show up.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here in Salud Marita?
What?
That's Bachelor in Paradise City.
All right, so we kick off the beheading of one of these women with a question that once again proves how unbelievably fucking stupid this guy is. Pat, do you want to set this up anymore?
Yeah, all right. So it appears at this moment that Shanae's planting the seeds in that meathead's dumb body in his head are going to actually work, because he's about to, I think this is an interrogation of Genevieve, the bartender, over her apparently being an actress.
Well, it's not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be, a 2-on-1, but it quickly turns into
an interrogation.
Do you have a question?
Listen to how
Are you an actress, and are you lying to me?
The shots here.
All right, pause it.
I'm sorry I interrupted that. It's just the way that he talks. It's like it's a bad robot. Like one of the early models that gets thrown into a fucking junkyard.
Yeah.
Bad robot.
You asked me to be honest, so I've learned a lot, but Pat, go ahead.
But are you a liar and an actress? Okay. Her physical response to that, there's a lot to be read. Obviously,
so genuine.
So obviously she's offended because she doesn't know where this is coming from.
Right.
But simultaneously thinking, I think this guy's a fucking idiot.
Right.
This guy cannot be this dumb.
He was given information that was concrete and actionable. Shanae said, last night she said, I'm going to leave. I'm going to pack my bag.
I think I want to go home, I believe.
The question would be, I want to ask you, did you really want to leave last night? Right? That would be the Bachelor thing to do. But because of how neurodivergent he is, he says, are you fake actress lying to me? It is the most vague, nonsensical question.
He water hosed her or he fire hosed her or whatever. Ask one question at a time.
Right.
Are you lying to me? Are you an actress? Because those are two different things.
Yeah.
Genevieve is an actress. This might be Nick knows too much, but she's a bartender in Pasadena who is trying to be an actress.
Hey, can I ask you a question? You pack your bags last night, actress, lying to me?
Yeah. And do you think that vaccine should be mandated?
I truly believe, because he gets she responds back to that. Then he gets up, as I pointed out, wearing skinny jeans, with his big fat thighs, walking away. And I do believe he wanted to go get a hoagie at catering, and he got tackled by Mickey.
Totally.
And they're like, "What are you thinking, buddy?" He's like, "Well, I got to send her home."
Well, first she asks him why he asked her that, and he completely quasies out because what he has to do in that moment is throw Shanae under the bus, and his apprehension towards that act would, make you kind of think that he wants to keep Shanae around.
100%.
Right? So the only reason why he didn't get that hoagie, the only reason why he didn't eat it and then send Genevieve home is because that mean little fucking mouse tackled him to the ground and held a fucking switchblade to his neck.
You ruined the fucking show.
So
we're really imagining Mickey doing a ton of his own leg work.
Yeah, he had to hit the ground tonight. But
he loves the falls.
His evil lair is actually at the bottom of Niagara Falls. So the time has come. The producers have told him that he needs to send Shanae home. The girls are crying back at the hotel. They are crying, laughing, screaming, and popping champagne. Ding dong, the shrimp is dead. Now,
were you guys?
What's up?
Were you guys furious that she wasn't thrown off the falls like they have been alluding to basically since the date card?
I'm used to this show lying to us now.
I thought there was no doubt in my mind she was going to be put in a barrel and thrown over those falls.
And I didn't know this until Pat brought in Jay Leno's newest game show, but I didn't know that people actually went over those falls in barrels and survived. And what's the name of that show again?
You bet your life. You didn't think I was going to stick that landing, did you?
No, I thought you would. That's why I threw it to you. Okay.
And at least, okay, they don't throw someone over their falls. Lots of liability there. I can see that. But one of the worst endings to a 2-on-1 since pre-pandemic, like endings of a 2, they usually fly off in a helicopter and leave someone sitting there. He just goes, Shanae, no Rose, and then they get up and they walked away.
It's always kind of rude, because 5 minutes ago Clayton was
sucking face.
Yeah,
you're right though, because that is a trope of the show, like circa Olivia getting left on a beach with like snakes just like crawling in towards her,
or those two that got left in the desert as the helicopter left them both.
Yeah.
Or there was a guy who talked like this. My wife always accused me of having a crush on her.
All right, so I think there's some footage that hit the cutting room floor. We've done this joke too many times.
Ali Fredorowski.
He definitely threw sandwiches because of how pissed off he was.
Come on!
What are you talking about?
She's not lying.
Hey, Jesse said I was the Bachelor. He said I was allowed to have fun. Clayton,
feel the blade on your fucking throat, you bitch!
Drop the ham sandwich, fucker. We told you can't eat any more bread. So let's move on. But before we do, let's take a quick break to talk about Magic Mind. Guys, Magic Mind is the anti-procrastination elixir that you need. And I'm not kidding. You need it to unlock Super Saiyan-like focus and Zen hum. Guys, coffee only blocks the things that tell your body that it's tired. It doesn't actually provide you with any clarity, any Zen, any focus. Magic Mind does that through echinacea, lion's mane, matcha, and 9 other powerful ingredients.
Fuck the spiel. I'm going to grovel with you people.
Yeah.
I know the CEO of this company personally. I'm damaging my relationship by him giving us money that I asked for.
Good amount of money, yeah.
And you not buying it. Please, for Christ's sake, for the if you care about my professional life, go to magicmind.co, use promo code Clayton, and get 20% off on this thing that's going to help you, you son of a bitch.
Let's get back to the show.
Wait, before we do. I love this advertiser. All right. I love Magic Mind. But I fucked myself, as I mentioned on a previous ad. I had a nanny that worked for us for 2 years straight. My daughter, Ellie, loved her. She started drinking Magic Mind out of our fridge. If some of you remember, maybe you haven't heard it, maybe you have. I no longer have that nanny. She showed up in a fucking Ferrari last week in front of our house. I said, "What's going on, Lupita?" She said, "I'm moving on." I fast-tracked myself to a PhD after I drank all that Magic Mind.
Yeah.
Made $3 million. I'm driving a Ferrari. I'm no longer taking care of Ellie. Good luck.
Pat saw her at the Beverly Hills Hotel where she was having brunch with Wolfgang.
It was the Polo Lounge.
Excuse me, the Polo Lounge. Mm-hmm. She had the valet guys fucking toss him into the hedges. Into the hedges. He was stuck there. It was spiny. It hurt to get out, but he did.
And now, in the irony of all ironies, Pat is installing a beautiful koi pond in Lupita's new mansion.
Go to magicmind.co, enter in promo code Clayton. Fucking do it. Let's get back to the show. All right, so we got to get to cockies. Clayton knows that the women are happy because he heard them singing in the elevator from his room. What kind of rundown piece of shit hotel are they staying in? You can hear people singing from the elevator. So Sarah pulls him first. I find her unbelievably boring. I think that she will evolve into ultimate villain of the season. But for right now, the two of them just, there's nothing funny. There's nothing engaging. It's just, can we move on?
The problem is that they're perfect for each other.
No, they're not perfect for one another.
I mean, like, just vapid, dumb, stupid. The age gap is going to be a problem.
I don't know if she's as vapid and dumb as...
You're right, because actually she kind of called what was happening going on at the end very well. Very quickly, you kind of transitioned us by saying "Ding Dong, the shrimp is dead," right, which those girls pop champagne to. They kept calling Shanae shrimp. Do you guys remember scallop fingers? Mm-hmm. I really hope we get some sort of showdown between shrimp and scallop fingers.
It's quite a memory you have on you.
Bachelor of Paradise. It was Kristen. It was Kristen.
Cecilia and I patroned Yakuza Sushi last weekend. We had this raw scallop dish with garlic butter that was absolutely to die for. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It brings me back. I mean, the flavor was transformational. It was just unbelievable.
What are your feelings on poutine?
We'll get there.
Or scallop fingers versus shrimp.
Okay, so
Salunita Narandita.
Sarah tells him that she can't imagine him having their connection with anyone else. And then we get to Rachel. He and Rachel talk about shit once again. She pulls out the classic move, which will see her winning this competition and their relationship failing miserably. Whisper into a makeout session and speak of almost nothing about the other person. Yep. That is when we get to Mara, who is, or should I say Gabagool, who is spinning her wheels a bit. And when she finally gets her time to talk to Clayton about how much he loves gravy, she's interrupted. Now, do you have strong thoughts on poutine?
No, I don't. Not at all.
He was trying to transition.
Yeah, I was trying to transition.
Got it. But you think you could house poutine on a Saturday? Too much for you.
I know. Cheese?
It's a lot of French fries and a lot of cheese and a lot of gravy.
You'd like it, Dick.
I try to avoid like specifically starch-based foods. He's
keto and has been so for 5 years.
I mean, if I'm gonna break, I'll have a bun with my burger, but I'm not some psychopath that gets fries on the side. But but I'll eat that cheese.
Well, marinara,
Gabagool,
she thinks she's gonna win this man's heart by serving him poutine.
Marinara's wench,
right? And I think I don't know, but he's not a fan. Okay.
No, he is
so
not.
When Serena interrupts, Clayton doesn't stop it, and marinara, Gabagool, she gets upset.
And she does. She cries Jersey tears, and that is when Jesse leads us into the rose ceremony. Pat,
we're gonna do a roll call.
Gonna need a roll call.
Well, I don't even need Nikki here to do the roll call.
Of course you don't.
He will be putting the music in this roll call. Here we go. Here's a roll call. Here's who's staying. Sarah, I hope the next Bachelorette. Come on, Asian community, start calling Disney racist so we can have our first Asian Bachelorette. Serene, she forgot to finish drawing her eyebrows. Obviously, that's a Sheree observation. She's so mean. Hannah Brown 2.0, looking stunning, and I'm not even into blondes. Teddy, I can't believe she's here because she had front row to the BTS show the night before. Eliza, nothing. Mara, she asks him, she says, I thought you weren't going to pick me because of that poutine. He says, no, I wasn't going to pick you because of that dress. Here's who's going home. Hunter and Marlena, they both get plane tickets.
Yeah, sad to see Marlena go. The roast master herself, the Olympian. It's sad news, but the good news is the show.
We got a bigot off the show.
That we got a fucking bigot off the show.
That's a segue into Nick Knows Too Much. I stepped on your punchline.
No. Well, I was going to say that's sad news, but the good news is the show is back. We have international airfare on the horizon, but we should talk about Marlena.
Me arguing on Facebook?
Yeah, Marlena being canceled. Go ahead.
She's canceled?
Did you didn't see this, Pat, in the Facebook scuttlebutt?
She had to apologize for some of the roasts that were not even on film.
So no, they were on film.
Oh, really?
Bachelor. That's how it got out. Bachelor released unseen footage of the roast, and Marlena, she is just she's Greg Giraldo reincarnate. The woman found her calling on this show, and people are demonizing for it. She did make a little low-hanging fruit hack, not funny, about
if
whoever
he picked Sarah, he would have a happy ending.
Because she's
Asian. So, and they give you hand jobs and massage polish.
Yeah, they're sex trafficked, and they beat you off for $50. Yeah.
And TikTok went crazy and saying Marlena sucks. I think it was ABC doing a psyop to get rid of Marlena. You can't eliminate a black woman, so let's paint her as a racist so we can kick her off the show.
Well, thank God they did, because this show has no room for bigots, obviously. Right?
And if you come in my Facebook group,
it's okay.
It's okay. My favorite thing about you is that you give me blowjobs and then I can call you a whore after.
And that concludes the worst edition of Nick Knows Too Much ever. I got too personal. I editorialized too much.
No, that's okay. You have to be Dan Rather, and you just have to tell us the news that you know too much about.
Facts.
All right, so the show is back. We've got international airfare. It is back in the budget, boys. Let's go to Croatia. A stunning country on the Mediterranean. King's Landing, actually, the seat of power in Westeros, was filmed there to give you an idea of how opulent and rich and royal this place looks. It's just filled with ancient beauty, and it is the perfect backdrop for Clayton. Oh, God. So before we move on to the one-on-one, do we have anything on the Amphora Resort?
No.
Great.
But night date later, I do have something.
Oh, okay. Cool. So the Amphora looks like a hipster pad in Palm Springs with like a really beautiful view. Kaylin shows up and offers Teddy the one-on-one date. This sends Meadow Soprano into a bit of a tizzy once again. Gabagool is... You're not going to win. Why do you think you're going to win?
Just enjoy the free trip.
You're in Croatia. Just chill, drink, try to get to the next week. What are you doing at home? You obviously left for a reason. Calm down, Marinara.
Now, we're talking shit, but she somehow parlayed this into a Super Bowl commercial. Probably the highlight of the evening of commercials.
She was in a... that commercial was fucking phenomenal.
Which one was it?
The Sopranos commercial for the Chevy.
Soprano.
I don't think she looks like Meadow.
She's just very Italian from New Jersey.
Meadow Soprano. All right, so we got to get to the date.
Date! Teddy and Clayton.
But also really quickly for Gabagool, you're going to find someone who says mutz the way that you say it, you know? Like, this... You're not going to date this guy, okay? You're not going to marry this guy.
Clayton is fearful of her.
Yes.
It's not going to work out.
It's not going to work out. And she's going to have some intense Italian uncle at the first Sunday dinner. And when Clayton leaves, he's going to go, is that guy fucking retarded? Bleep that.
Is that guy fucking neurodivergent?
Okay. So... date, Pat?
Date.
Nothing, and I mean nothing.
A little bit. They get ice cream.
Nothing happens.
Because that's what 5-year-olds like to eat. It's their favorite food group.
Nancy Pelosi, too.
Oh, I love ice cream. Just behind me, I got ice cream.
I envy her diet. She just she has a refrigerator filled with ice cream, and she shows broadcasts so that the poor people can aspire.
Yeah, we were
having that
4 months into a pandemic
much
where
dessert,
people thought they'd never make any money again, and she was on James Corden. Yeah, I'm my ice cream.
But
Hey, this is no politics. I'm not saying if I love Nancy or don't.
I'm just saying it's inappropriate. You're not supposed to be in your fucking mansion with your refrigerator, your $10,000 refrigerator.
Well, I still envy her because she gets to eat ice cream every single day.
I was just going to preface what I was about to say with no politics, but right. Dylan, you talked about our diet. Don't forget the blood of infants.
Right. Exactly.
No politics.
Zero. And also, for those who didn't know, it actually got revealed in that documentary. Nick was Q the entire time. All right, so
look at all the shitstorm I started, huh, fellas? What a troll!
That was crazy.
Are we just gonna get to the night date?
Nick was telling us about 4chan back in like 2017. We were like, "What are you doing?"
What's the difference of 20 minutes, Pat? I mean,
all right. So obviously,
no, he said there's nothing here.
I know.
Nothing happened. So let's get to the night date.
Night date.
She says that she's got something big to tell him.
Before she tells him it,
before you talk about what she tells him before that, do you have a TripAdvisor review for this place?
I do. Night date?
Night date.
We're here.
How many circles do you have?
So the whole place has 4.0 circles on average, which is very good according to TripAdvisor to give you some insight into the scale.
Sure, it's like Goodreads. If you have a 4.2, that's fucking incredible.
If you have a 7.2 on IMDb, you're a very bad movie.
Right.
But
or
if you're
The Godfather.
Yeah. But if you're 72 on Rotten Tomatoes, you're okay. 1,017 reviews. Quick, and this will set some context before my review, which this sometimes I feel like this is forced and almost unnecessary, the entire segment. This one is necessary. Perched on the promenade and facing the old city center, Adriana Zvar's most stylish boutique hotel boasts the most spectacular panoramic views of the town and the marina. Adriana's amenities are as diverse as its view, making it the perfect place for you to relax, renew, and rejoice. Adriana offers 50 deluxe guest room, 9 suites, and spa-specific suites, a year-round rooftop seawater swimming pool, and a butchery and wine restaurant, spectacular top bar, lounge, and multi-level garden terraces with stunning views over the sea and marina. Wow, from that description, I'd want to stay, right?
Oh my God.
But let's see what John Jay has to say. He's from England. 37 contributions, 27 helpful votes. I don't think people really vote on the helpful part very much. That kind of downgraded. I think John's review is very important. I was one of those 27. He titles it Terrible Experience. Visited the hotel last night. Sat outside on main hotel veranda overlooking harbor. He doesn't like articles. Ordered a drink for my wife and I. Then noticed what looked like feces on the chair cushion between my legs. Then noticed it all over my hands. Stood up and noticed it on my trousers. Called over the waitress, who showed me the toilet. I think he just means the bathroom. He's from England. Had to wash the trousers in the sink. That, I think, even Americans understand. Dryer didn't work. Returned to table. Staff uninterested. Called manager who offered me a free drink and to wash my trousers. Waitress had turned cushion over, so mess still on seat. Would you want to stay there? No, I'm going to be honest. I think John shit his pants.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, if they're allowing that and he got to continue to stay and talk to the manager, I don't want to visit there.
Either John shit his pants or one of the craziest things that's ever happened at a restaurant happened to John Jay. A piece of shit was left on his chair for him to sit in and evidently like rub a ton.
And before you're just like rubbing the couch. I do that when we pod.
All right.
But no, I left off just a riff, and you tagged it. You heard Octopus playing tennis. Check out Love is Blind, patreon.com/another podcast network. But the last sentence actually said, manager said problem with birds.
Oh, there you go.
But you could definitely decipher the difference between human shit and bird shit.
No, it's pretty tough. I've tried many times and failed. Pat?
What's that seafood restaurant that dead ends with sun?
Long John Silver.
No, when you go down Sunset, You're eating your fucking, I don't know, your fucking shrimp cocktail. You got seagulls hanging out above you, flying above you.
Yeah.
They're dropping trow on you.
Sure, yeah. The beach is such a beautiful place.
I forget what that piece of shit restaurant is.
Yeah.
And the beach in Croatia, though beautiful, you can't walk on it. It's all rocks.
Yeah, and gypsies are everywhere.
My sister had a 30th life crisis. She went to Croatia by herself. She told me the beaches were very rocky. That's how I know that.
Yeah, we were gonna go to Nice for or fucking whatever. So we have to move on to the big bomb that she has to tell him. Obviously, her family is in turmoil and in trouble. Obviously, Mickey showed her a live camera of the dungeon that they're in. And obviously, she's going to have to share that she is a virgin to Clayton.
Well, it's he's wearing his Mr. Rogers sweater, which is fitting because he's having dinner with
a child. Yeah. Now, they dance around being in love and vulnerability, but this all amounts to Clayton asking, but not really asking. So are you going to fuck me when we... I'm sorry. Are you not going to fuck me when we get to...
Yeah, well, she says I'm a virgin, but I'm down to fuck if I'm in love.
Right.
Seeing my vagina is not contingent on marriage. Yeah. Plus, blowjobs are on the table. So
all right. So he lulls her into a sense of comfort and says it's okay for now that you're like this. All right. Let's get to the... She gets the rose.
I definitely felt like the subtext of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Power of the Dog. It's all subtext.
I thought you were a huge... I'm not going to say it.
All right. So
promiscuous woman.
Let's get to the group date. But before we get there, a date card gets dropped. Mara keeps thinking that she's going to be on the 101, the one-on-one. But alas, she's not. Sarah will be getting her second one of the season. Vomit. But, Pat, who do we have on this date?
Well, this is only punishment for Nick for being so rude the last time that I had a roll call. So it's Serene, Rach, Genevieve, I think. Is Gabby there? Yeah. Eliza. Yeah. Mara's on that group date, too. There you go.
I feel like I left slightly before the group date or the roll calls. I would never intentionally leave during a roll call.
Sorry.
We're going to have to check the tapes. I even noted how one of my favorite parts of your last roll call.
I appreciate that.
It's somewhat of a trope when you're intense, you're screaming, you're yelling, and then you kind of do like a sentence that ends in a question. And I came back to that, and I laughed, and I laughed, and I laughed.
Yeah.
And now I get punished. You know, I would have listened to that back by myself. I'm sorry, I won't leave again.
So the girls
I drink too much, and I have to pee.
The girls roll up to Katrina, who is a Croatian knight /
Looks like Justin Bieber.
That's who fucked up New Orleans?
She is. Yes, she broke the levees herself with her powerful sword and might. But no, this is a LARPer in Croatia. She's going to be guiding the women through a knight's gauntlet. First up, a very anticlimactic session of push each other with shields for 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. Then we'll move on to a knight's feast. Oh, yeah, you had to have been pulling your hair out at this.
Which part, the feast or the pushing or
the pushing.
The lack of the rule?
No, the pushing. There were no rules. They showed one round.
This is actually the most pure form of competition. This is a rule.
It's sumo.
Yeah, it's sumo.
It's sumo.
It's sumo with shields. So, no, I love this. This was as objective as it gets.
Got it.
I do want to say I've never heard Ren Fair be described so eloquently by what's her face?
Katrina, yeah.
Katrina.
Yeah.
But you know who's a huge Ren Fair frequenter? Accused murderer Amanda Knox.
Is that right?
And that's just a whole different style of Nick knows too much.
Yeah, the Ren fairs in Croatia are a little bit different. We have a lot more meth at our Ren fairs. So
she's married to some little weirdo, and I feel like they like to swing.
Okay, so there's going to be a feast for the second part of this night's gauntlet. We're going to get pig's liver, cow stomach, and fish eyes. Now, Serene really
fucking fear factor showing up.
Yeah, Serene really gets after it. Not only does she eat the fish eyes, she squeezes the brain matter and the head fluid out of the fish and onto her chin as a means to extract the eyeballs out of the fish. And I just thought, you know, you don't need to go that overboard. I mean, it's actually crazy what you're doing right now.
This is like medieval porn, what she did. She like opened her mouth and like put it over it. Like Is that not what you guys saw?
There is. I would hazard a guess that it would take 4 to 5 years to wash that smell off your hands. I wanted to throw up. So it's at this point where they are asked to get down on one knee and spit verses. Mara, Gabagool once again is getting pretty fucking fired up. She's pissed about most things, and she's shitting on the girls' confessions. She says that this is going to be the last time that she's going to be a peasant, and she keeps doing these like promising things where she promises this is going to be the last time. Is this the
poem?
Yeah,
she executed this thing. She nailed it.
Yeah, but there's this delusion of grandeur that she has that. She's like, I promise you, this is the last time I'm going to be 15th fiddle on this show. And it's like, no, you're in a perpetual state of that. You exist as also 15th fiddle.
Well, she does do that, but I think she also told him she'd give him head or use his head or something like that, too. So she was throwing that out there.
Okay.
It's called a Hail Mary.
Okay. And she said and ironically, that's actually what Sarah called it later. She said someone threw a Hail Mary.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Sarah's very adept. I'm actually...
dude.
I'm pissed at myself for calling her stupid earlier. She's not stupid.
No.
But which might make her perfect for Clayton, this cash cow that she's now latched herself onto.
Yeah, I feel as though she is. She's a little bit of a snake. She is a little bit of a snake. But anyways, we got to move on to the night date.
Night date.
But before we get there, let's take a little break to talk about way.
Oh, yes.
No way.
No way. Not spelled that way.
That's what most of our cheapo listeners have.
No way are you going to find a better product than Way. Spelled O-U-A-I. Some of our fans have sent us some pictures of some of their products. They're unbelievably beautiful. It is so freeing to get a fresh start or return to the baseline. Just declutter your bathroom cabinets. You know how those things can get. You know, it's the same feeling as getting your inbox down to zero or purging your closet. You know, if you have a clean bathroom cabinet with just a few products, you will be free. And you know what else will cause you freedom? And you know what else will uplift your spirits? If you kick
Way.
Yes, Way. If you kick your shitty shampoo out of bed and you start using products that are not terrible for your scalp and your hair, like the Way Detox Shampoo. Guys, I'm a sucker for smells. This thing smells unbelievable. And when you have a good product, I mean, people comment on it. Oh my God, what does that smell? I go to bed after a shower. My wife, she wakes up out of a deep slumber. She's, oh my God, what is that? I go, honey, that's Way. And she says, W-A-E? Or she says W-A-Y? I go, no, honey, it's O-U-A-I.
This
Guys,
is not an insult, Dylan, but you essentially just said, I love music. I'm a sucker for smells. We all are. It's the sense most tied to memory.
Yes.
And if you want people to remember you, get Way.
Get Way. No way you're not going to get Way. You have to undo some damage. When you're ready to, hit the reset button with Way Detox Shampoo. Go to TheOuai.com and use promo code Bachelor to get 15% off your entire purchase. That's TheOuai.com. Use promo code Bachelor.
Personal testament.
Yeah.
Just to put the cherry on top of this, because I'm sure we're going to move a lot of the product with that ad read. I wish I had this in college.
Yeah.
Because not only does it like fix your hair and stuff, it goes down the drain pretty good. I had a bunch of college roommates. I'm pretty sure the bathtub drain was clogged with hair and semen. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
But I like that.
No. Hang on. Oh, let's never mind.
I love kind of the dynamic. This is all cut. Well, it's not.
No. This is staying in. I'm done with these cheapos. I don't give a shit what this show sounds like.
Okay. I had a bunch of roommates, and I'd go take a shower, and I'd be up to my ankles in water.
Okay, well, we don't need to keep
He
going
said
with
it wasn't
going
to get cut. He didn't say
I didn't
finish
say,
it.
yeah. Nick, thank you. Let's get to the fucking next part of the show, which is the night
But that's
date.
perfect. Now we just sold more whey. It got his fucking roommate's cum and hair out of the
Can
tray.
we not? Pat, night date.
Night date.
Fuck.
That could have happened. That timeline doesn't work. It would have. I think you were going to say.
Gabagool continues her fucking jibber jabber about these young bitches. She finally gets her time to sit down with Clayton, and she takes this time to shit on him. Now, her gripes and her qualms are quite valid. You know, she's saying, I have no idea how I'm going to ever progress because you pay no mind to me ever, and it's starting to get frustrating. But she does this thing where, because he's not interested in her, it means that he's not interested in getting married at all.
And I think I'm going to nail this one. I know there's a lot of talk about our role play.
Yes.
Let's role play. You're Mara.
Okay.
I'm Clayton.
You know, I can't help but feel that you're like
Into teenagers.
That's Latin. You could kind of see how you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just use. Okay.
Go
all right.
loud, go loud, go fiery.
You know what?
Improv's directed.
You know what? It sounded like you don't pay any attention to me, okay? And it's starting to hurt my feelings. And I don't thinking that you are ready for marriage.
Who are you and why are you yelling at me?
I think I need to start an investigation on who's not here for the right reasons. Can I get out of this conversation right now, please?
Hey, thanks for that tip. I gotta hit the presses.
I gotta start investigating. All right. All right.
Did you also have a role play set for this part?
Yeah, I was gonna help out.
All right. So he obviously bucks at her talking shit on all the girls he's been hooking up with, and allows her to keep establishing herself as the villain number 3 of this season. Now, she flames the other girls, specifically the one that he's most into, which does not bode well for her because he doesn't want to talk about this shit. He just wants to hook up. Mm-hmm. Come on, man.
God.
So, surprise, surprise, Rachel gets the one-on-one, and once again, Gabagool is very upset. Now, the night date ends while Clayton is hanging in his room, fresh off a little self-love sesh. He gets a knock at the door. It is a note. It says, "Meet me at the clock tower." Now, given how angry and Italian Mara is, I was pretty convinced that we were going to see our first live hit on The Bachelor.
No, we joke a lot about having the same thought. But I have this. This was Sonny Corleone at the toll booth. There's no doubt in my mind. Mm-hmm. Clayton's body was going to end up riddled with bullets, and all of a sudden we'd have to come in with a new Bachelor, a la Claire.
He was going to be swimming with the fishes, and Jesse would have said, "You know, I love my wife, but I'm down to give this a try." But alas, we did not see our first assassination. We saw instead...
Sonny Corleone wasn't important enough to be assassinated?
No,
he was whacked.
He was whacked. What are you talking about?
But you said our first assassination. I thought you were still talking about... I thought you were still talking about Clayton.
No, I was. I'm saying that we could have seen that, but we do not see our first ever assassination.
It was a joke about Clayton not being important enough to be assassinated.
Okay, got it. But so we don't have an assassination. Unfortunately, what we have is just Susie.
And this is what the worst part of the Bachelor Bachelorette has become. Someone who's had maybe 20 minutes of actually one-on-one time with another person telling Clayton that she's falling in love with him.
Yep.
So dumb.
And get ready to get some ice packs out, maybe a wet towel, maybe a bucket of water. Because I've got a very hot take here.
Oh.
I thought we were doing the ALS bucket challenge.
She's our next Bachelorette.
She looks too much like Hannah Brown. We already had her.
She is 100% our next Bachelorette. They are teeing. Why else would they give her randomly? They just afford her this opportunity to keep cementing herself on this show. there's no reason to break form like this and just give her a random one-on-one, a night date one-on-one. It makes no sense.
It's a good point.
I'm the same train of thought as both of you. She is. I loved when you called her Hannah Brown 2.0. Did we move away from that? Has that been decreed?
I'm still calling her that.
No, he's still calling her that.
Okay, but I agree. She looks like her, but that's exactly why they want her.
Yeah.
They feel like they're declining. They've snapped back too far, and now they're trying to go right back where they were.
Yeah, it's just Lay's potato chips.
And it was a little bit of that, except it's going to be Rachel, the pilot.
Rachel the pilot.
No,
On the wings of
love.
on the wings
Of love.
So he, when he sees her, gets very, very excited because
He's fucking stoked.
well, I'm pretty sure he thought he was going to get killed too. So he gets very giant little boy. You know how he gets. And Susie dances around a bunch of horse shit about being scared, and then tells someone who she's been on one date with. You don't have a bomb sound effect, do you?
No, I don't yet. She says she's she did say she's falling in love with him. She's not starting to fall in love with him.
Whoa. Shame on you. Our first real one of the season, and you don't have a...
It was so out of left field and didn't make any
Holy
sense.
shit.
Oh my God, it was
So
late too.
Gabagool keeps yada-ing about Sarah to Gabby. Can we move on entirely from this?
Yes, we're gonna go to the nighttime because it's some bad editing. We have a whole day that happens, and then we just get to the night date where Palmer
exactly.
shows up, and I guess he's gonna be the Watson to Clayton's Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And they're not discovering who's killing prostitutes. They're gonna find out who's telling other girls they're not really ready to get engaged.
Yeah, 100%. They're code crackers, these two. Clayton is taking a contemplative walk, and Jesse is stalking him. And they kind of serendipitously run into one another at the perfect moment because Clayton's really unsure about his love with Sarah, and Jesse tells him that he sounds like he needs some answers. Now, Jesse has none of them. He says, I don't. But encourages him to go find them out.
This is more weird mobster shit. Why are they meeting in a back alley with half their face lit?
Yeah, and Clayton has a newspaper hung over his forearm. It's really, really weird.
Jesse Palmer has a trench coat full of watches.
Jesse says, hey, you're the fucking Bachelor, man. Go get those answers. You can do whatever the fuck you want. So Sarah heads on over. It's a one-on-one night date, only night date.
Night date.
Okay. So she begins with the most bloated toast ever, almost like they're trying to paint her as not there for the right reasons. And he presses her on this. He throws the tea right in her fucking face. Sorry if it's scalding, but my heart's on the line. She's really busted up about this because while everyone on the show is not there for the right reasons, she does seem to like him, and this whole thing sounds like it's been cooked up by that evil mafiosa. She's blindsided, much like Genevieve was with the just substanceless claims about being there for the wrong reasons that Shanae cooked up for Genevieve. And Clayton, in another masterful example of crushing it as the Bachelor, sees her begin to completely break down and weep and says, hey, I'm going to check out for a while. You hang at the table by yourself crying.
I thought it was actually astute. Get away from her.
She is really weeping, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't care. He stands in a corner for a while and looks at a wall until he's ready to go back and give her a rose.
We got done eating nachos.
Yeah. Now, Sarah has turned a bit of a page here, and we can see the evil begin to really creep up. Now she is out for blood. She has vengeance coursing through her veins, and we will see what transpires with all that messy mess next week. Guys, we love you for listening. And we ask you, here now, once and finally, until next week, and we'll do it 5 more times. Go to patreon.com/another podcast network to listen to the brand new recap of Love is Blind Season 2. The pods are #open. Go to magicmind.co and check out Way. Also, jump to the iTunes ratings and reviews. Leave 5 stars and kind words. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. We're everywhere on the interwebs. We love you. We'll see you next week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Goodbye.